Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are KINSLER.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
You could not ask for better weather today. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon in downtown Detroit. Today it's the final game of the series featuring the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers as we welcome into Comerica Park MIGUEL Cabrera and the rest of the Tigers hoping to avoid the sweep here this afternoon against the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pepper, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here for the final game of the series. And Ron, I guess you could say the Tigers had their chances yesterday. Twice they had the bases loaded, could not come through. The offense got to wake up a little bit.
No doubt about that, but they were all smiles today. You saw MIGUEL Cabrera right there smiling before this game. I watched batting practice today. Everybody's focused on the starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. They've ran into some good teams. They haven't played well. They definitely got to get it going here.
All right, maybe they will here this afternoon behind Justin Verlander, who gets the start. We saw some really positive things out of JV in his last start in Seattle.
Very encouraged with the fastball that Justin Verlander was featuring against the Seattle Mariners 5 days ago. He got all the way up to 97 miles an hour. He had heard the whispers about the velocity of the fastball being down, and he simply answered all of those questions. But Justin should not get it twisted. The fastball is a good pitch, but he's not going to overpower this Toronto Blue Jays team. He must work in the slider. He must change some eye levels with the curveball. He must fade the changeups away from the left-handed batters. This is the best lineup I've seen to date this year. Justin will need to be on top of his game today if he's going to beat this Toronto Blue Jays team, which is simply on fire right now.
They've been awfully good. We'll see if JV can stop them here this afternoon. Final game of the series coming up after a short break back at the Coliseum Studios in Trevor Thompson. Beautiful day for baseball here in the Motor City. Tigers, Jays, next. Spectacular afternoon for baseball here in downtown Detroit. The Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays wrap up this three-game series. Starting lineup today for the Jays presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jose Reyes leads off. He'll play shortstop. Melky Cabrera hit his first home run at Comerica Park in 112 at-bats in last night's ball game. He's followed by Bautista and Lind. Francisco is at third base. Lowry is at second base. They've got Navarro, KRATZ, and Ghosts rounding it out. Encarnacion is out with a bad back today, and they are facing the right-hander Justin Verlander, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Verlander's last 5 starts against the Toronto Blue Jays, 3 wins, no losses, a 1.32 ERA. He'll need to be as good here today if he's going to slow down this hot Toronto Blue Jays offense. Verlander has won 6 games this year and lost 4. Let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment this evening. J.D. Martinez, the only one that didn't start in last night's game. He's in left, Jackson in center, Hunter in right, Romine, Kinsler up the middle, Castellanos and Cabrera are on the corners, and Alex Avila catching the day game after a night game.
So as we get you set for baseball here this afternoon, Jose Reyes is stepping in. Justin Verlander is set to go to work. So are we. And the first pitch of today's ball game is a strike called on Jose Reyes.
Tigers pretty much have kept Reyes in check in this series, but they really haven't been able to slow down the guys that bat behind him.
Reyes has hit safely in 5 in a row. A couple of hits and 9 at bats in this series. And he drives one to right center field. That'll be a base hit. Leadoff man is on for the Blue Jays. Reyes with a solid single to center.
I talked about this at the top of the show. I was very encouraged with the Justin Verlander fastball 5 days ago against Seattle. He got up to 97 miles an hour, but he's not going to overpower this Blue Jays team with fastballs. That's a fastball up at 93 that Reyes got on top of and hit a seed into center field.
That'll bring up Melky Cabrera. It also brings us to our pitcher-batter matchup, courtesy of the Bernstein advantage, and the advantage belongs to Justin Verlander. Melky Cabrera is just 4 for 22 versus JV in his career.
Very important for Verlander to keep his double play in order with the speedy Reyes on first base.
In the air to left field, straight at J.D. Martinez, who makes the catch. And Melky Cabrera is out, 1 gone in the first. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Jose Bautista. Mentioned as we ran through the lineup of the Blue Jays there without Edwin Encarnacion, who is resting his back today, so he is out of the lineup.
Not only is he resting his back, but his numbers aren't good against Verlander. He's 3 for 18 against Verlander, so it's a real good afternoon for Encarnacion to take off.
Bautista with a 10-game hitting streak. He's had a nice series, 4 out of 8, couple of RBIs. And Reyes draws a throw back at first base.
John Gibbons, their manager, drawing huge praise for the way he's used his lineup this season. You know, the matchups, the platoon system at some of the positions.
Ball 1 on Bautista.
Verlander coming out throwing awfully hard here tonight. That last fastball at 94 to Bautista.
Reyes, the runner at first base, 11 steals, has been caught just once. But Avila has been among the best in baseball in throwing out runners. A strike is called on Bautista. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bautista's walks are up this year. He leads the major leagues with 48 base on balls.
His on base percentage is well over 400 as well. He's having a nice season.
Reyes chased back again. Blue Jays have won the first 2 games in the series, and as a result, Toronto now has won 4 straight and 13 of their last 15. And John Gibbons has them playing as well as anybody in baseball. Their lead in the East is 4.5. Outside from Verlander, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Cleveland Indians right now, one of the hottest teams in baseball. They've won 6 straight, and wasn't it like 2 weeks ago where they were 10.5 games behind the Tigers?
Tigers visited Cleveland with a big 10.5 game lead. They left town with a 7.5 game lead, and now it's 3 over Chicago, 3.5 on Cleveland. That's drilled to center field on a line. It's going to drop. Base hit. Reyes rounds the bag. He's headed to third, and he is in there diving.
That's one of the reasons why Bautista has been so good this year, hitting well over 300 at 318. It's our bell tire pitch by pitch at how Verlander went after him. He fell behind him with the first pitch fastball, then a real good slider that he couldn't lay off of, and then Verlander simply tried to mix in several different pitches to get him to chase. And take a look at the approach on the two-strike slider, simply going right back up the middle. But we told you Bautista this year already has quite a few hits up the middle and also the opposite way. 22 to center, 18 to right. Only 17 hits the opposite way last year, the entire year for Bautista.
Here's Adam Lind batting in the cleanup slot today. Lind was a big performer yesterday. And a couple of doubles in the ball game, 3 RBIs, and he fouls that one off. No balls, 1 strike. He's got a piece of it into the glove of Avila.
They've really learned how to use Lynn this year, and pretty much exclusively against right-handed pitching, and the numbers don't lie. And a 349 batting average, and he's doing a really nice job with runners in scoring position.
In the air toward the third base side and foul ground. Drifting Castellanos makes the catch. Well, Lind is out of there, 2 gone. And Verlander now with a chance to pitch out of this first inning jam. Lind unable to get the runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Here's Juan Francisco. Francisco 1 for 7 in the series. Batting .269. He has also provided some pop to a Jays lineup that really hasn't needed a whole lot of help. But 9 home runs, 7 of those in the month of May.
Verlander threw 120 pitches in his last outing, a season high against the Seattle Mariners. They'll watch him closely today. And really in that start, Mario, he was just really 1 pitch away from having a really good start. And I'm talking about the 2-run home run that Kyle Seager hit off of him.
Yeah, and you go back to that Baltimore start as well, when he was cruising along and all of a sudden they planted a 5 spot on him in 1 inning, and that was it. And JV's ERA jumping because of that.
And Justin said that he was very encouraged by his velocity, and 5 days ago he got all the way up to 97, several pitches 95 and above.
Now JV will step off. Verlander came into this game, well, in his last start, 7 strikeouts, which was the most that he had since his May 4th start. So that another indication that the command was better, the fastball was better. Balled inside to Francisco.
This is a much better balanced team that Justin Verlander is going against today. They've got quite a few switch hitters. They've got some power. They've got some left-handers. There was a time, just a short time ago, where they had a lot of right-handers, and of course Verlander just dominated Toronto Blue Jays.
That's in the air to left. Should get him out of the inning. JD Martinez under it, to the track he goes, and the threat is over. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Here come the Tigers. Jays. They fail to score. J.D. Martinez is in the Tigers lineup today, and it's presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler, Hunter, Cabrera, your top three. Victor is the DH. Martinez gets the start in left, and in his last 10, he has perked up offensively. Jackson in center. You've got Avila, Castellanos, and Romine rounding it out tonight for today for the Tigers, and they are facing the left-hander Jay Happ.
Jay Happ has a plus fastball. He'll go anywhere from 91 to 94 with his heater. Likes to use his slider to the left-handed batters, more changeups to the right-handers. He'll also throw you an occasional curveball, but overall he's having a very nice year for the Blue Jays.
Kinsler starts it off. He homered in the ballgame yesterday. His only hit in the series. He has scored a couple of times, and the average now at 297. Happ delivers one right at the knees, strike one. Jay Happ is a Midwestern kid. He was born in Peru, Illinois. Played his college ball at Northwestern. Little bounce in, one ball and one strike. Happ is listed at 6'5", 205, 31 years of age now. Here's the 1-1. There's a base hit to right field as Kinsler goes the other way, and the leadoff man is on for Detroit.
And while we have a second, let's set the Toronto Blue Jays starting defense is always brought to you by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, they've got good arms, and Cabrera, Ghost, and also Bautista. Francisco, Reyes, LAWRIE, Lind in the infield, and KRATZ is the catcher today. .986 fielding percentage for the Blue Jays outfield, 15 assists, most in the American League.
We've had three different starters behind the plate in this series. Navarro in game one, Tolley last night, and KRATZ here today. Torrey Hunter batting .264. And Happ misses low and in. One ball, no strikes.
The Blue Jays carry three catchers on their roster, and all three of them are pretty much guaranteed to catch at least one game a week. KRATZ has become the personal catcher for Happ. You saw Tolley last night. He was the personal catcher for R.A. Dickey.
Here's the 1-0, and it's bounced to the left side. Fielded there by Francisco to second one, and relay is a double play. 5-4-3. Nice turn by LAWRIE at second base with the runner bearing down on it.
Nice hop here for Francisco. Easy feed to LAWRIE. LAWRIE with a quick exchange, getting out of the way of the sliding Ian Kinsler. And the third catcher on their roster is Navarro, and he has basically become the everyday catcher for Mark Buehrle, who is just having an outstanding season. He already has 10 wins.
Cabrera looks at a strike 0-1. I think managers are kind of shy about saying so-and-so is so-and-so's personal catcher because it can change, but I think it is true that some guys just work better with other guys.
John Gibbons will not say that unless you get him quietly in his office. But, I mean, if you look at their track record this season, I mean, the guys that I mentioned and the way that they've caught and the amount of starts each guy has caught. KRATZ has caught Happ, 6 times. So certain guys work better with certain pitchers.
Meanwhile, it's 0-2 on Cabrera. And just off the plate outside, 1-2.
And Happ likes to throw quite a few changeups to the right-handers. Not many sliders to the right-handed batters.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Right back up the middle on one hop. They had him played nicely. LAWRIE in the outfield grass throws him out. No runs, one hit, nobody left. On our way to the second at Comerica. we go to the top of the second, aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Beautiful day to be flying over downtown Detroit. There's Comerica Park on a spectacular Thursday afternoon. The Tigers wrapping up this series with day baseball here against the Blue Jays. Red Sox come a-calling tomorrow night. In fact, they're in town already. And the Tigers start a 3-game series with Boston tomorrow evening. Here is Brett Lawrie to start things off for the Blue Jays. They had a couple of hits in the first against Verlander. Couldn't break through, though. Lawrie swings on the first pitch and pops it up. Foul ground, first base side. That was easy. One gone. The old one pitch, one out. And now Dioner Navarro.
Already 2 pop-ups in the infield, one to Miggy, one to Castellanos, and a couple of fly ball outs to the outfield of the 5 outs that Verlander has gotten in the game. 6 outs he's gotten so far. Blue Jays kept the ball in the air quite a bit last night against Porcello, who was a really good sinker baller, but I guess that's what you would imagine from a team that hits as many home runs as the Blue Jays hit.
The Jays now have a major league high 84 home runs.
They got 6 guys with 9 home runs or more. 6 different guys.
Two 2-0 on Dioner Navarro, a native of Caracas, Venezuela. And JV now has gone 3-0 on Navarro. Veteran catcher. He's been around with several different organizations. Former Tampa Bay Ray. Played with the Cubs last year. Hit a career high 13 homers. Here's a 3-0. He is taking ball 4, and it's a 1-out base runner. First walk of the game for Verlander. Here are today's field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. We told you it was perfect. We meant it. 71 degrees right now. It is dry. It is sunny. A few wispy clouds in the sky, but that's it.
This is some of that same kind of weather that we had when we were out on the West Coast in Oakland and also Seattle.
Exactly. Picture perfect. Erik KRATZ, the batter. And JV throws a strike on the outer edge.
Good slider there, and thrown by Justin at 87 miles an hour. He'll need to do a lot of that today. Good sliders to the right-handers, slow curveballs and fading changeups to the lefties. And he needs to make sure when he does throw a fastball, he keeps it out of the heart of the plate.
KRATZ, a .224 hitter. Bouncing ball to short, could be 2. Romine, Kinsler, and a double play. 6-4-3. That'll be it for the Jays. 1.5 in the books. Still no score from Comerica.
Double play ball off of the bat of KRATZ, their starting catcher today, right to the shortstop Romine. Nice feed to KINSLER. KINSLER able to turn it over to Miggy.
Tigers last night had a couple of double plays behind Rick Porcello. They turn one now behind Justin Verlander. And the Tigers bat here in the bottom of the second. It'll be Victor Martinez. Then J.D. Martinez, and then Austin Jackson facing lefty Jay Happ, who got a double play himself back in the first inning. And Victor looks at strike one. For Martinez, he still leads the league in hitting at .332 coming into play today. And the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes.
Tigers had optional batting practice today on the field before the game. The Blue Jays, they did not hit on the field before this contest. And Victor Martinez, as he is always, the only veteran player that took part in batting practice.
Ball high, 1-2.
Wally Joyner said, when the guys want to hit outside, we simply hit outside. Have you noticed the game this year where Brad, other than opening day, had his jersey on, number 7, without the pullover?
You know, now that you mention it, no, I don't. This is the first day, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Skipper trying to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's good thinking there.
At least that's what I'm thinking.
So what you're saying is there might be some superstition involved in this.
Yeah, he might not say, you know how he is, but that's what I'm thinking, though. You know how we do it anyway. We never let the truth get in the way of a good
story anyway.
Yeah, we never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Victor waits on a 1-2. And that'll get back out of play. Well, the lead over Robinson Cano is dwindling. It's 332 now to 330. Those are the top 2 hitters. Miguel Cabrera has been among the top 5 most of the year, at least most of the year from May on forward.
Which one of those guys would you put your money on to win the batting title this year?
Man, that's a good question. Foul straight back.
I go Miggy.
Yes. Would you really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice. I don't know.
I go Miggy.
The way Victor is swinging the bat this year and the way he swung it in the second half last year,
it's a good pick.
I might have to go with Martinez, but Cabrera, before it's all said and done, he'll be knocking on the door of another MVP award. And again, the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The thing about Robinson Cano, and I know he's second right now, but there really isn't a whole lot of protection for him in that lineup in Seattle.
No, there isn't. And that's probably one of the reasons why he's not hitting for much power this year. When, you know, runners in scoring position, they simply don't give him a whole lot to hit. But when nobody's on base, they let Robinson do what he does, and that's kind of sprayed the ball all around the ballpark.
Wave and a miss. Martinez goes down swinging. 1 gone here in the second.
Told you that Happ will throw quite a few changeups to the right-handed batters, although this was a hanging changeup at the top of the strike zone. Victor Martinez has swung right through it for one of his rare strikeouts this season. 83-mile-per-hour fastball, changeup by Happ.
J.D. Martinez getting the start in left field this afternoon for Detroit. And J.D. rolls it foul.
J.D. real good fastball hitter, and that's why Happ started him off with an off-speed pitch.
Neither Martinez or Rajai Davis have any history against Jay Happ. But it's Martinez that gets the call, and J.D. is at .333 over his last 10 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez has given, I think, the Tigers exactly what they expected. Some power off the bench. He has hit a pinch hit home run this year. Drives that one foul back out of play. 1-2.
He's also had some really nice plate appearances when Brad Ausmus has decided to give him the starting nod in left field.
And when he's not starting, he will be pinch hitting many times. He's 1 for 5 with that pinch hit homer. Happ busting it inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's already done quite a bit of that to the right-handed hitters. Fastballs knocking him off the plate, opening up the outside corner.
Two is on the ground to the right side. LAWRIE playing out there in that outfield grass again, had plenty of range to get there. 2 up, 2 down. It's getting to the point now apparently that even teams are playing that second baseman on the grass even against right-handed hitters now, because that's what LAWRIE has done in this game.
I think every manager, every team, and guys that crunch the numbers, everybody has a unique way of overshifting on certain players. And here's what you're talking about, the overhead look. There's LAWRIE playing on the grass. LAWRIE, excuse me.
Here's the 0-1. There's a strike.
It's LAWRIE, but it's kind of spelled Lowry, L-A-W-R-I-E.
Yeah, and we've gotten a lot of questions about that with the way we're pronouncing it, but it is pronounced LAWRIE.
And there is a Lowry, isn't there, in Oakland? That's spelled L-A-W-R-I-E.
Oh, Jed Lowrie.
Yeah.
There's a base hit to right field. Well, Jackson needed that. It's a 2-out single. Snapped an 0 for 10 for AJ.
Austin was my pick to click yesterday. Guess he looked a day late. But we'll take it.
Oh, you're a day early.
1 to 2.
Here's Alex Avila. .212 batting average for Avila. A couple of hits in the series, 2 out of 6. Tigers now have 2 hits in the ball game. And Avila cuts and misses 0-1. Happ came into this game averaging a lot of pitches per inning, about 17, a little over 17 per inning, which was the 5th highest total in the American League. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. No, we went around. Take it back. Jim Wolf says the count is 0-2. You make the call. It was a tweener. Could have gone either way. The count is 0-2, which dramatically changed the look of this at bat now. One ball, 2 strikes. Castellanos waiting on deck for his turn. Two and 2. Jay Happ last year made only 18 starts, was 5-7 with a 4.56. He was struck in the face by a line drive off the bat of Desmond Jennings last May and suffered a fractured skull and sprained knee as well when he fell to the ground. There's a swing and a tip into the glove for strike 3. And the second strikeout of the game for Jay Happ. Tigers get a 2-out hit, strand a man. Jays and Tigers wrapping up this series from Comerica Park. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Back at the hill, and here is our T-Mobile game changer. How about JV in the month of May? He has been awfully good. 26 career wins. I take it back. We're in June now. The month of June. 26 career wins this month.
Tied most among active pitchers. And so June clearly has been one of Justin's best months.
I'm still stuck in May. I know the Jays would like to be stuck in May. They were great last month. There's a ball that is ripped foul down the first base line by Anthony Gose. He'll be followed by Jose Reyes and then Melky Cabrera. JV had a double play turn behind him back in the second. Gose is batting .255. Verlander backed him out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gose good speed, getting a chance to play now with Colby Rasmus on the disabled list for the Jays. Wave and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is nothing better than a day game here, especially in the middle of the week, and you've got a packed house.
It's unbelievable. It really is how they could pack this place on a Thursday afternoon.
Temps in the low 70s. The ball up and in to run the count now to 2-2.
What is John Gibbons going to do when Colby Rasmus gets healthy? And the way Gose has played center field, and also the way the team has played.
Did he go? Sure did. Jim Wolf rings him up. 1 out. Time for a game break now. We go back to the studio and check in with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Here, no score as Jose Reyes digs in now. Hits a ground ball back towards second. That'll be a routine play for KINSLER. And there are 2 gone.
And Verlander so far stayed 1 step ahead of the Blue Jays hitters. He got Gose on a really good slow breaking ball. This is strike 3, and this is what he said he was going to need to do against the lefties today to neutralize his hot offense that Toronto has ran at the Tigers the last 2 days. And then he gets Reyes on 1 pitch, just a fastball. Ooh, that's a really nice look there of Verlander throwing his curveball, and you can see that he does not use the seams when he throws his curveball. He calls it a seamless curveball, and he gets that much depth on it. Usually guys need the seams to get that much bite.
Melky Cabrera with 2 outs. There's another ground ball to second base. This could be a quick game. KINSLER throws him out. 1, 2, 3. They go. On our way to the bottom of the 3rd. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, and part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Jeep, visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Johnsonville Sausage is all we can do. A beautiful aerial view of Comerica Park in the Motor City, shining this afternoon on a 70-degree day here in downtown Detroit. No score as we go to the bottom of inning number 3. And for the Tigers, it'll be Castellanos, Romine, and then Kinsler facing Jay Happ. Ball 1 high to Castellanos. Nick in the series has had a base hit. He has stolen a base. He's also walked.
That stolen base was the first career steal for Castellanos.
Now the 1-0. Fouled it off in the check swing. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Tigers' third baseman. Half ready with the 1-1. Drilled to left field. That ball is up there, and that ball is up against the wall. On his way to second base, Castellanos pulls in with a double.
Happ has thrown some really good pitches in this game, but he's also hung a couple of changeups. He hung one to Victor Martinez, but Victor didn't make him pay. Victor swung through his. He wasn't so lucky with Castellanos. It's up in the strike zone. Castellanos goes out and gets it, and gets himself a double to left field. Now that changeup, if it's going to be an effective pitch for the left-hander, he's got to bury that pitch at the bottom of the zone.
Now let's see if the Tigers can get him in. The Tigers in the ballgame last night had 2 separate cases of the bases loaded, once with nobody out, and they couldn't get a run in.
And they're pinching him on the corners. They're thinking that Romine is up there trying to bunt Castellanos over to third base. He showed no sign of bunt on the first pitch from Happ. Did you hear word on what the issue was with his shoulder last night on that dive?
Apparently it popped out, and then he just popped it right back in. But you could tell as soon as he hit the turf, he was in some pain. He was able to continue. And it's good because Suarez came up gimpy as well with that slide at second, so he's not able to go. Suarez was supposed to start the game today.
It might be tough for the Tigers third base coach Dave Clark to send Castellanos home on a base hit to left field or right field with the arms they have out there. Cabrera in left, Bautista in right.
You know, it's interesting, Rod. We've seen Brad manage now for a couple of months, and there are cases where it seems like it's an obvious bunting situation or a possible bunting situation. And Brad seems to stay away from the bunt.
Well, the guys have a job to do. They're pros. Romine knows he has a job to do. When there is a runner on second and nobody out, you need to get him over to third, and that's just the way the game is played. And until the Tigers start playing the game that way, they're not going to get many wins. And you could see that Romine visibly trying to do that. Here's that play we were talking about Romine when he dove for a ball. I think Bautista hit this ball. Nice play, but you could tell that he was in a lot of pain. And as you mentioned, the shoulder popped out momentarily, but he put it back in himself.
Ooh, I think we just saw him put it back in. That was not good. But he's all right. And he's out there today.
I've never suffered a separated shoulder, but guys that have suffered them, they tell you it is one of the more painful things they've suffered on a baseball field.
I will take their word for it. I would rather not live it myself.
That's why so many guys in the outfield these days, they don't slide like or dive like we just saw Romine dive. You see all the outfielders these days, unless they absolutely have to, sliding feet first these days to make catches where they have to leave their feet.
Bautista did that last night
twice. And that's the reason why they do it.
Well, he did his job. Lynn thought about going to third, but thought better of it, and so Romine moves the runner up.
Yeah, Brad didn't put the bunt on. He knew that Romine has the skills to move the runner along, and he did that. And he was simply fighting off everything through the home plate until he finally got the job done. And now it's up to Ian to get it done.
High fives now for Oman. The other thing about the bunt here is it's only the third, and so maybe if it's later in the game you would consider it, but.
And you also consider the opponent. He's probably thinking that one run's not going to beat the Blue Jays today.
And that's probably a pretty good bet. Here's Kinsler. There's a strike call.
It'd be nice for Kinsler to drive in this run right here. He's had a nice year. And you look and see what he's done. Runners on third, less than 2 outs, 8 of 11. Successful. But he left quite a few men on base last night.
Kinsler, a couple of hits in the series, homer and a single. 1-1 the count. Jay Hatt played his college ball at Northwestern, was all Big Ten 3 straight seasons for the Wildcats. High fly ball left field, shallow. On the charge, Cabrera, and it's going to drop in. That's a fair ball. Kinsler's on his way to third base. Ian is in there diving for the triple. And the Tigers have the lead. Second hit of the game for Kinsler.
This is one of the shallowest triples you'll see hit in a big league park. Melky Cabrera playing deep. He came in, he left his feet. And when you leave your feet as a left fielder and the ball's on the line, there's nobody to help you out behind you because the center fielder can't get there. So he had to run back and get it. And by the time he did that, Ian Kinsler sliding in the third with a triple.
Fourth hit of the game for Detroit. Maybe that'll fire him up now as the infield comes in halfway against Torrey Hunter. And he fouls it back 0-1.
Tigers are all smiles today on the field, the guys that did take batting practice. They do have a veteran-laden team, guys that continue to work hard. They know that it's a process during the course of a 162-game season. And they'll get it turned around.
Hunter sends a fly ball to center. Ghost lines it up. Kinsler tags up. Here comes the throw from Ghost. Going to be late. Sac fly. RBI for Torrey. 2-0 Detroit. Three really good at bats after the leadoff double by Castellanos. Romine moving the runner up, and the next two doing their job as well. That RBI is number 30 for Torrey. Here's Cabrera. He'll bat with 2 outs and the base is empty. Miggy bounced out his first time up.
Mickey's always got that $1 million smile on his face. I don't think anybody has as much fun competing as he does.
Flared to right field. Bautista running catch. He's made some nice plays in this series. Tigers, however, get a couple of runs. Ian Kinsler had himself a big triple and celebrates as well. 2-0 Detroit.
in honor of Throwback Thursday, here are a few throwback Tiger photos for you. We will start with the much younger Miguel Cabrera. This is back at 18 years old when he was in the minors with the Kane County Cougars. He said it was very, very cold in Chicago, so he needed all of that Under Armour on all the time. And then here is a much, much younger Little League photo of Torii Hunter. The guys were giving him a hard time, saying, "So glow." Miguel Cabrera really liked the Jerry curl. Rajai Davis also said he used to have that curl as well. The guys' reactions were priceless, talking about their Little League and much younger days. They said it was some of the best years. Fun. Everybody played the same way. You just went out there, tried to hit the ball, and have a good time. And if you want to see more of their reaction, which is priceless, you can go to foxsportsdetroit.com, where I have the longer, in-depth story. But guys, can you believe those photos?
Yeah, I can, Lindsay. In fact, if I were to pull out a photo of myself at that age, I'd have so much hair in my head, and I'd love just half of it back.
Yeah, I know where Tori's at. I had that Jerry curl too. Several years. I messed up many of pillows, man, with that Stay Soft fro you used to have to put in your hair to keep it curly.
What is Stay Soft fro?
Stay Soft fro, little curl activator. I messed up some pillows, man.
Yeah, I can imagine the maid coming into your room after a night on the road.
Messed up some shirt collars.
Well, we've got a few others that we're going to show you here as we move along in this contest today. Those Little League pictures, man, those are the best. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And skipping out of the way is Bautista.
And Verlander kind of overthrew that breaking ball there to Bautista. And when Verlander really wants to get him out, what he'll simply do is he'll go slider hard down and away, about 87, 88 miles an hour. Avila wanted the fastball. Verlander wants the curveball.
Fouled away.
And the pitcher always wins that argument. The catcher could put down whatever signs he wants to put down, but a veteran pitcher like Justin Verlander has his own game plan and simply will shake off Avila, whereas the younger pitchers like Smiley, very seldom do they shake off Avila. Here's that slider now.
2-2.
Now that's two consecutive pitches where Avila wanted the fastball away and Verlander shook him off on both occasions.
See what the sequence is here this time.
Gonna get his wish this time.
Yeah, finally gets the fastball. And then it's fouled away. .96 on that last heater from JV.
Nothing wrong with his velocity. And Verlander is one, when he does reach back to get a little extra, he can still command the baseball on the corners of home plate.
That's in the air. Shallow right center. Jackson coming on. Oh, look out. And it drops between he and Hunter. What in the world happened there?
Yeah, somebody's going to get an error there, and it might go to Torii Hunter. Just simple lack of communication between Austin Jackson and Torii Hunter, two really good outfielders.
It looked like Jackson was camping under it, and then Hunter came on and couldn't make the catch. E9. So it is Hunter indeed that gets the error.
Well, Justin Verlander just simply has to pitch out of it. It's that simple. You can't let it affect you.
Here's Adam Lind. First error of the ball game for either team. Ball one. Verlander has had 7 at bats already in this game, in which he has had just 1 or 2 pitch at bats. He's gotten some early quick outs in this game.
That bodes well for him. He'll stay around a while. One of the things the Blue Jays have been able to do the first couple of days is kind of wear down the starting pitch and get their pitch counts up.
There's a soft line drive, base hit right field. Bautista stops at third, and the Jays coming right back after giving up 2 in the bottom of the third.
Adam Lind has been money with runners in scoring position this season. He's hitting .385 before this hit.
Little humpback liner into right field, but it got the job done. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Juan Francisco. And we'll see how much the misplay out in right field ends up hurting the Tigers in this inning. JV had a 1-2-3 third. Now traffic on the bases here in the 4th.
He'll gladly take the double play and give up 1 out. 1 run, excuse me. Off the bat of Francisco.
Juan Francisco flied out his first time up to left field. He was released earlier this year by the Milwaukee Brewers, picked up by the Blue Jays, and has provided some pop to their lineup.
Nice find for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Fouled away.
But I think it's the way that John Gibbons is using guys like Francisco this year, guys like Lind. We talked about him rotating the catchers. The Blue Jays, like a lot of other teams, are simply putting guys in the best possible position to succeed. I think a lot of people are starting to take a page out of the Oakland Athletics book with the way that they platoon players at about 4 different positions, lefty righty combinations, depending on that night's starting pitcher.
In that series in Oakland, the Athletics used just about everybody on their roster. That is popped up. Avila makes the play, 1 gone. That's a big out. Blue Jays had runners at first and third, 1 out in the first, couldn't score. Now we'll see if Verlander can duplicate that feat here in the 4th. Brett Lawrie stands in.
Brett Lawrie is one of a few players, just a handful of guys in the big leagues that has not hit into a double play this season, and he has over 200 at bats. There's a first for everything.
I see you're employing the reverse jinx.
Well, he's got to hit into one sooner or later.
Might as well do it now. Verlander brings it inside, 1-0.
Verlander's got some hair on that fastball today. He's already been up to 96. Several 94 and above. Good 4-seam fastballs.
Well, Laurie's also pretty good with men in scoring position this year, 377.
It's good offense. It's a really good offensive team.
JV with a count of 2-1. Brett Lawrie, that last pitch, borderline. And Verlander got the benefit. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the native of Langley, British Columbia in Canada. Brett Lawrie represented his home country in World Baseball Classic.
Lawrie is one of those maximum effort guys, and he gets a 2-1 fastball, and he simply slips and almost falls down because he swung so hard.
He gives you max effort in everything.
That's right.
Running the bases, playing defense, swinging the bat.
They've had a difficult time of keeping him healthy because of that.
Another fly ball foul down the right field line.
Baseball is a game where you want to be aggressive. You want to play at 100%. But you also have to be very smart at how you do it. Controlled aggression, I guess, is the best way to play the game.
You take a chance, though, I think, when you try and tone it down. For a player that's used to going 100 miles an hour through his amateur career, through the minor leagues, into the big leagues, that's just the way they play. But staying on the field, obviously, is more important.
If he's from Canada, he's probably got some hockey in his background, too.
2 on, 1 out. Tigers on top, 2-0. We're in the 4th.
Let's see if he starts the runner from first here. They could still get a double play even if he does start him.
Instead, it's ball 4. That's going to load the base.
It's a great at bat by Lawrie.
That'll be the second walk for JV. So they're loaded up now with one out. And Diana Navarro will stand in. I'm assuming Navarro is a much better double play candidate.
Yeah, he's not
the fleetest of foot.
No, he's not.
Three double plays this year off the bat of Diana Navarro. He walked his first time up. Jays have their best scoring chance now. Bases loaded, one away. Grounded foul. Well, Verlander over his career seemingly has been able to get up for his starts against the American League East because his numbers versus the East are awfully good.
That looked like a cutter. I did not know that Verlander threw a cutter, but that last fastball at 90 had a little cutting action to it. Most of his four-seam fastballs have been in the mid-90s here today.
Here's the 0-1. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Navarro.
You saw those numbers. Verlander's last 5 against the Toronto Blue Jays. A 3-0 record with an outstanding earned run average, and their opponent's batting average not very good against Justin. This is a different team, though. Much more balanced offense that John Gibbons has in 2014.
1-2 now on Navarro. He's gotten a couple of ground balls here, but they've been hit foul. As you look at the pitch count now on JB.
He's done a nice job of throwing that fastball at about 90, 91 in this at bat to Navarro. Now, maybe a good off-speed pitch will slow that bat down and get him on that front foot. Might get him that ground ball that will get him out of this inning. Just don't leave it over the heart of the plate.
.97 miles an hour that time from Verlander, and it's 2-2.
He's going for the strikeout, not the double play.
Error, a single and a walk in this inning for the Jays. They've loaded them up. Detroit on top 2-0. Fouled away, so this is turning into a lengthy at bat here for Diana Navarro. And all of a sudden, Verlander, whose pitch count was in great shape through 3 innings, starting to elevate here with a tough at bat against Navarro. Still only 1 out. He's walked a batter in this inning.
LAWRIE also had an outstanding at bat before Navarro stepped in the batter's box. Something the Blue Jays do very well.
Soft line drive back to short, going to drop in, base hit. Bautista scores. Everybody moves up 90 feet. It's an RBI single for Diana Navarro.
After several fastballs to Navarro, Verlander finally threw him a breaking ball, and the breaking ball stayed up in the strike zone long enough for Navarro to slap it the opposite way for an RBI. You want that breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone. That might get you the ground ball that you were looking for. Blue Jays taking advantage of that miscue and by Torrey Hunter to lead off the inning, but that's what good baseball teams do.
23 driven in now for Navarro. Now Verlander will go against the 8th hitter in the lineup. ERIK KRATZ will step in. He bounced into a double play his first time up. And he sends a ground ball left side. This one finds a hole, base hit. They're going to try and get 2 runs in. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. It is a 2-run single for ERIK KRATZ. Lind and LAWRIE come around to score, and just like that, the Jays have taken the lead.
KRATZ did not start in last night's game, but John Gibbons got him an at-bat in the contest very late in the game, knowing that he was going to catch Happ here this afternoon, and by giving him a look in last night's game, it probably helped KRATZ get that base hit right there.
Well, the door was opened by the error from the right fielder Hunter, and the Jays have broken it down a 3 spot. Still only 1 out. And Verlander now has thrown 27 pitches in this inning, after throwing 27 combined in the first 3 innings. Right back up the middle. Romine will tag the back 1, and there's the double play. Goes bouncing into the 6-3, but a big inning for Toronto. Have taken the lead, 3-2 ball game now as we go to the bottom of the 4th here at Comerica Park. And we remind you to be in the house this Sunday when the Tigers host the Boston Red Sox. 8:07 start. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Red Sox in town for the weekend. That Sunday game should be a good one. Sanchez and Lackey will hook up in that one. By the way, time now for the predictions that we have for today's Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Frozen strawberry lemonade only at McDonald's. I've got Kinsler today.
I've got Victor Martinez here today against J.A. Happ.
The crew going with Castellanos. And, well, I must admit that I have to be in the lead right now, because Kinsler is 2 for 2 RBI.
Yes, you are.
A lot of baseball to be played. Jay Happ back to the hill. Victor in his first at bat struck out uncharacteristically. Martinez, and then Jackson. 4, 5, and 6 for Detroit. Happ is pitching with the lead for the first time. And he missed inside, 2-1.
The Boston team's been awfully streaky. They had a 10-game losing streak, and then they followed that up with about a 7-game winning streak, and now they've lost their last 3. 8.5 games behind Toronto.
There's the 2-1. Brad was asked about that before the game, if you can take any lessons out of that, and he just said, yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. That's baseball. You're going to have good stretches. You're going to have poor stretches. Right now, the Tigers trying to bust out of a poor one. Here's the 2-2. And based on how the Tigers played earlier this year, they are certainly capable of putting a streak together. And they remain 3 games up in the Central.
Well, when they were 27-12, now they weren't as good as they were playing at that time. They won some games they probably shouldn't have won. And while they've been cold now, they're not as bad as they've performed. Just not getting results on the winning end.
Three runs, 5 hits for the Jays. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Tigers. They've committed 1 error. Jay Happ gave up 2 in the 3rd RBI triple by Kinsler, and Hunter with a sac fly. Full count, 3-2. Talked a little bit earlier about Jay Happ being struck in the face last year. He suffered a fractured skull when he took a line drive to the face against Tampa Bay. And when he fell to the ground, he also twisted his knee, so he missed about 3 months last year. But it's always scary when you see the ball come as quickly as it does sometime right back to the mound, because the pitcher in many cases is just so unprotected and defenseless.
And so many times when guys make contact and they hit the ball right back up the box, it's usually on a pitch that's down and away from the right-hander, down and away from the left-hander. And a lot of times the bat speed, I mean, the ball is coming off the bat at about 100 miles an hour. You can't move.
And he walked him, so Martinez is on the leadoff 4th.
That walk, and we talk about it a lot, how crucial late inning walks are, but sometimes those walks in the middle innings are just as bad as the ones late in the game. You just notice the ones at the end of the game a lot more.
We'll see how important this one becomes. JD Martinez will step in.
And JD, good fastball hitter, first time up. Happ started him off with an off-speed pitch for a strike 1.
Martinez looks at a ball high and away.
I bet you a lot of them Boston Red Sox on the golf course somewhere today. This is a beautiful day to play some golf.
Yeah, it really is. Don't want to be stuck in the hotel room today. Here's the 1-0. You don't think they're tuned into the broadcast today?
There's a few. There's a few of the numbers crunchers, I'm sure, that are watching. But most of the smart ones are on the links. I bet you Terry's on the golf course.
Here's the 1-1, and it's grounded to 3rd. This one might be another double play. 5-4, throws high, safe.
That might be a break for the Tigers. That was a tailor-made double play.
1 on, 1 out.
Outstanding feed by Francisco once again to LAWRIE. And I don't know if the fact that Victor Martinez didn't slide caused LAWRIE to throw this ball higher than he needed to throw it, but he uncorks one by going down to a sidearm angle, probably because Victor didn't slide and he doesn't get the double play.
Here's Jackson, who had his single to right field his first time up. Snapping it 0 for 10.
Here's one more look at what LAWRIE was probably looking at. Victor Martinez running and simply peeled out of the way, but you can see LAWRIE kind of drop down to a sidearm angle to not necessarily throw the ball toward Victor, and it cost him a double play.
Rolled foul. Back into the Tiger dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Austin Jackson. Tigers got 2 runs in the 3rd. Jays come back with 3 in the 4th. AVILA waiting on deck. There's the 1-2 from Happ. Runner goes. Ball high. Throw down to second. Tag. Got him. Yonder Navarro cuts down J.D. Martinez.
Well, Tigers gambling here that Happ had forgotten about J.D. Martinez at first base. He went on first movement, but KRATZ, their catcher, fires the strike down to LAWRIE, and LAWRIE able to apply the tag.
Yeah, I called him Navarro. That's actually KRATZ.
It's all good.
And the tag right there. That was close. There's the 2-2, and it's hit in the air to right. That'll back up Bautista. Oh, Bautista with a running play. Went all the way to the warning track. As we go to the top of the fifth inning, Jays on top of the Tigers here in the final game of the series. There is Max Scherzer, the current day Max Scherzer. Remember the young pictures we were showing you? Little League pictures. Well, here's Max. How old do you think he is there?
Probably about 11.
He was playing for the Mustangs in St. Louis. How about Rajay Davis? Little Rajay Davis. Always fun to go back and look at the Little League pictures.
That's one thing all these guys pretty much have in common. They all started playing baseball when they were about 5 years old. T-ball, and then coach pitch. And then you graduate to Little League and Pony League and all the way up.
Here's Jose Reyes leading it off.
Max has gone from that photo to his own bobble day.
It's been quite a climb. Of course, winning the Cy Young last year.
Bobblehead day, I guess technically I should have said.
Ground ball foul. Reyes, Cabrera, Bautista here in the top of the fifth. 3-2. Jays on top. They are gunning for the sweep here of the Tigers. They got 3 against Verlander in the fourth inning. But an error played a key part to that 3-run fourth. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Reyes' history, 1 gone. Aerial coverage today provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And they are giving us the spectacular views in downtown Detroit and Comerica Park this afternoon. On a gorgeous Thursday day baseball here at the ballpark. Ball inside to Melky Cabrera. And Verlander's strikeout was his second of the game. You mentioned he struck out 7 in his last start. JV has been at about the 200 range in strikeouts for 5 straight seasons now. But his pace is a little bit below that this year. Well, we'll get back in the seats, and Verlander coming into this game was on pace for about 168 strikeouts. Now the 2-1 pitch. Cabrera sends a ground ball to the right side. Miguel picks it up. Verlander will cover. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th. Here's Bautista. His career has really taken off as a Toronto Blue Jay. Bautista actually played with 4 other teams before he settled in with Toronto, and then of course had that huge year a couple of years ago. 54 home runs, 2010. Popped up foul, back out of play. Hey, time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Bender drops in for a strike beautifully. 0-2. Bautista behind in the count. Swing and a miss in a 1-2-3 5th inning. 3rd strikeout of the game for Verlander. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Comerica Park. Tigers down by a run. It's brought to you today by Bell Tire. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit, and by the new Chevy Silverado light duty and heavy duty lineup. Welcome back to Comerica Park. Another full house here this afternoon. Tigers and Jays going at it. Bottom of the 5th inning, 3-2 in favor of Toronto. Jay Happ goes back to work, and he delivers a strike. Avila, Castellanos, and Romine, bottom 3 in Brad Ausmus's lineup today. Alex struck out, closing out the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1. 1-1 the count now, and the Tigers backstop.
Happ doing a nice job with his first pitch strikes here today. He is 12 of 16, and that has allowed him to get to his changeup to the right-handers, his slider to the left-handed hitters, and keeping guys off balance for the most part. Strike 1 is huge at this level.
2-1. Happ began the year on the disabled list this year with a bad back. Low, 3-1 on Avila.
Alex should get a pretty good fastball to hit here from Happ. It's going to be about 92 miles an hour.
Down the third base line, heading back toward the seats. Francisco runs into the railing.
That had to hurt.
Almost ended up in row one.
Yeah, he's a big body guy, and he's not played in this ballpark, so he doesn't quite know exactly where he is, and he almost landed in somebody's popcorn.
Three and two on Avila. Soft line drive to left. It'll drop. Base hit. Avila's aboard to lead things off in the fifth inning. Did you see what happened last night in Cleveland?
They played a long game, I heard.
Yeah, they had a rain delay that lasted a couple of hours, and Asdrubal Cabrera off Mujica of the Red Sox wins it with a walk-off home run.
Indians are hot right now. They've won 6 straight. They're playing some good baseball.
They came in at 2:05 a.m. And you're right. I mean, the Indians now starting to feel a little bit better about themselves. At one point, as we talked about earlier, they were 10.5 behind Detroit. Here's Castellanos. Ball one. Make that strike one. Here's the standings in the Central. Chicago 3 back. Cleveland all of a sudden at 500 now, 3.5 out. Here's the 0-1.
But when we look at those standings, I know it says 3 out, but isn't that loss column the most important column, where the Tigers have a 6-game lead still over Chicago?
Well, I think when you're late in the season and you're looking at how many different, or what the difference is in games played, yeah, it becomes more important. I think it's really too early anyway, to talk about games back in the loss column or games behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you're not like most Tiger fans, then.
No, because there's some folks panicking, right? And I ran into a few of them outside of the ballpark last night. It is June.
I go to this local gym close to the house, and it's pretty much the same guys in there most of the time. And after you get your workout, you may be showering or whatever the case may be, and they like to talk baseball because obviously they know I work for the Tigers, and sometimes I just don't go in there when the Tigers aren't playing well. I just can't go in there.
So wait a minute, you're telling me you bypass the shower if you're playing poorly?
Yeah, I go home and shower at home.
Well, that's good news at least. There's a ball low.
They're so passionate. I mean, these are older fellas too. They watch every single game, and they know everything about the Tigers. I mean, they watched Ernie, when Ernie was broadcasting games here, and they let you know when the Tigers aren't playing well.
Well, it's easy to get wrapped up in it. I mean, you want to feel good about your team, and they felt so good about the ball club in the month of April and heading into May. Then all of a sudden they hit a stretch where you start to wonder a little bit, and it's hard to keep in mind that there's just so much baseball to be played. I mean, so much can happen between now and the end of September. Right now, the Tigers are battling it. They were 15-3 from April 29th through May 18th. They're hot stretch.
I mean, all the numbers. I mean, you look at the batting average is way up. Now it's way down. The ERA was way down when they were hot. Now it's way up. The numbers don't lie.
Hit hard to left, base hit.
A couple of really good at-bats by Avila and also Castellanos, both getting themselves 3-2 91-mile-per-hour fastballs, and both guys having success at getting singles. And Romine might be up there bunting this time around.
Hey, the crew now is Castellanos. They all got together and picked Castellanos as their player of the game, and he's 2 for 2. So they're back in it. Pete Walker coming out now, the pitching coach, will have a chat on the mound.
He's going to go out and deliver the message from John Gibbons, the manager, as to how they're going to play this bunt.
There is some activity. It is the right-hander Jenkins warming up. He was tuning up in the ball game last night. The Jays had to go to the bullpen in the game last evening. They had Luke, Cecil, McGowan come in. Jenkins actually pitched in the 9th in last night's ball game.
Bunting situation for Romine, and if he does bunt the ball, he has to go down toward third base. You got to go here. You want to make the third baseman come and get the ball. That would open up third base for Alex Avila. You don't want to bunt it to first.
He pulled it back. Rolls it to third. Dropped there by Francisco's throw. Oh, they called it out at first. So he showed bunt, yanked it back, but hit a slow roller to third base.
Well, they call that the old Butcher Boy play. The bunt was in order, but Lynn, the first baseman, was really crowding him. As a matter of fact, Lynn, the first baseman, was so far in when the ball got to home plate, it looked like he was going to go past the mound and try to make the play on the other side. And that's why Romine simply pulled the ball back and swung the bat.
So it basically served as a bunt. The runners are at second and third. One out now, the top of the order. It'll be Ian Kinsler. Big day for Kinsler, single, triple RBI. Oh. 3 runs on 5 hits, Toronto. 2 runs, 6 hits, Detroit.
One more look at the bat pullback by Romine and Lynn, their first baseman. Look at him right here. You see him running toward the play here. It looked like had this ball been bunted down third base, he was going to try to get on the other side and make the play and go to third base.
And I'm not sure I would have ever seen that.
I haven't either. But that's nice observation there by Romine.
0-2.
The game is getting trickier and trickier these days.
That it is. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We gave you Ian's numbers earlier. He's been really good in these types of situations this year. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. 9 of 12 now, I believe.
Two and 2. .292 this year with men in scoring position. Happ now is up to 80 pitches in the game, and you'll get a visit from the catcher KRATZ. Second and third for the Tigers, and 1 out in a 3-2 ball game.
This is one of those visits by KRATZ. Might be changing the signs, but he also wants to make sure that Happ knows that he does have an open base at first base, and really the best way for the Blue Jays to possibly get out of this jam is to not be all that concerned with Kinsler if they walk him and play for a double play with the next hitter. You'd rather do that than give in here to Ian Kinsler.
Bouncing ball left side. Francisco has it there. Kinsler is out, but the run will score. Second RBI of the ball game for Ian, and we are tied at 3. Kinsler gets his 26th RBI. Here's Torrey Hunter. Sacrifice fly back in the third, knocked in a run, his 30th driven in of the year. Ball one to Torrey.
Castellanos needs to be a little bit more aggressive with the secondary lead out at second base. That was not a very aggressive secondary lead. With the arms they have on the corners in the outfield, you've got to get as much of an advantage as you can. Up the middle, they're not paying any attention to him.
Two and 0.
Cabrera 5 assists in the outfield from that spot. He's got a right fielder's arm. Ghost can throw in center field, and Bautista has an outstanding arm as well in right field. He also has 5 assists.
So now Torrey's got himself in a good hitter's count here with the runner at second base. And he fouls it off.
And Happ still has a good fastball at 93 miles an hour.
Cabrera waiting on deck. Happ would prefer not to have to deal with him this inning. Tigers have tied it at 3. We're in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Throw back to second. Castellanos got back in there. KRATZ not bashful about letting it go.
That's because Castellanos started getting a better aggressive lead down at second base. He wasn't aggressive on the first pitch, but he started getting off there pretty good.
Pulled foul. Got out in front of that fastball and roped it down the third base line. 2-2 on Torrey.
Dave Clark down at third base. Better be careful. He's really close to Hunter. He's telling Castellanos on the base hit, I'm sending you. You better be ready to go.
Down the right field line, Bautista is on the move, going to the corner to make the catch. Tigers, however, will tie it up on the RBI by KINSLER. 3-3. today. In Kinsler's single, triple, 2 RBIs. He has also scored a run. The Jays' 4th inning, in which they were down 2-0, they scored 3 runs to go ahead. And Nick Castellanos having a good day as well. A couple of hits, double. Adam Linden will lead it off as we go to the top of the 6th, 3-3 ball game. Verlander coming off a 1-2-3 5th inning. That's after nearly throwing 30 pitches in the 4th. JV at 66 overall now. Here's the 1-0. Bouncing in. 2 balls, no strikes on Lind. Would be nice to be out on that thing right now. Sun beat down on you. Three and 0. Francisco waiting on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch. 3-1 on Lind. 2009 was the biggest season that Lind has had in the big leagues. 35 homers that year. 114 RBIs, but since has battled back problems. And he's got himself a walk to start things off in the 6th. That'll put the leadoff man on for the 3rd time in this game now for Toronto. 70 for Verlander, 44 of them strikes this afternoon. It'll bring up Francisco. Driven high in the air. Deep right field. And the Blue Jays have gone deep again. It's Juan Francisco this time. A 2-run shot.
How does he go up there and sit on the first pitch change piece and hit it that far?
This team can swing the bats.
Really, all the damage that has been done against Justin Verlander today has come on the off-speed pitches. When they scored the 3 runs back in the 4th inning, the guys that were successful in that particular inning all hit off-speed pitches. He was sitting on this. I mean, he just waited and then uncoiled and hit it out of here.
5-3 ball game. The Jays now have hit their 3rd home run in the series.
They have the most potent home run hitting offense in the major leagues as we speak. 6 different players with 9 or more home runs. Weren't you saying that Francisco got released by the Brewers before the season?
No, in April. Huh. It's funny how things work out and how one spot may not be a good spot for you, but then you catch life when you go somewhere else. And he has also given life to this Blue Jays lineup. That is his 10th home run. Brett LaWrie waits on a 2-1 pitch. 2-2 now on LaWrie. Baseball's leading home run hitting team has struck again. 2-run shot here in the 6th inning by Juan Francisco. Two and 2 on LaWrie in the ball game today. Walking a pop up.
This crowd is full here at Comerica Park, and boy, they were into the game early. Now they need a reason to get loud again.
Each ball club now with 6 hits. Here's the 2-2. 3-2 on LaWrie.
I mean, Verlander thought he had strike 3 there, but home plate umpire David Rockley didn't give it to him.
Leadoff walk to Lynn. 2-run shot for Francisco. There's the drive into deep left.
Oh my goodness.
That ball is going to clear the bullpen in left field. Brett Lawrie hits a monster home run, and it's 6-3 Toronto.
Ooh, these Toronto Blue Jays done come in here to KRATZ Park, and they're playing like it's a home game. And you might think the reason why they lead the majors in homers is because they hit a lot of homers at home, but they also hit a lot of home runs on the road.
It's fouled back out of play. 0-1 on Navarro. Back-to-back home runs, Francisco and Lawrie. Verlander has thrown 16 pitches in this inning and yet to record an out.
Lawrie showboated a little bit, but I guess when you hit him that far, you can do whatever you want to do.
One and 2 on Navarro. The home run for Lawrie was his 10th. The home run for Francisco, his 10th. And as you can see, the Blue Jays lead baseball with 86. Swing and a miss. And AVILA thought about chasing him down the line, but then finally throws it.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed pitch on the velocity of Justin Verlander here today. Nothing wrong with the velocity. He's gotten up to 98 miles an hour. He's also thrown some really good off-speed pitches. The one that just get the strike out there of Navarro, but he's also hung quite a few of those off-speed pitches, and the Blue Jays have made him pay on some off-speed pitches today.
Blue Jays now have gone back-to-back 5 times this season, breaking a 3-all tie here in the 6th inning, and a strike called on ERIK KRATZ. It'll get the Tiger bullpen working. Evan Reed warming up.
Tigers having a tough time of winning games here at KRATZ Park. I mean, they used to have a really nice home court advantage here. I mean, they've won 50-plus games a number of times the last few years, but not doing all that well here at KRATZ Park this season.
Texas came in the last homestand, won the series from the Tigers here, and now the Jays have at least won this series, going for the sweep.
Tigers have gone 5 straight series without winning a series.
2-2 on the catcher KRATZ.
A lot of baseball to be played though in this one.
Here's the 2-2 from Verlander. Pulled down the left field line, foul. Well, despite the score, they're still into it. Two and 2 on KRATZ. Full count now, 3-2. Blue Jays have done all their scoring in 2 separate innings, both of them 3-run innings, the 4th and now here in the 6th. Anthony Ghost waiting on deck. There's a walk. Second walk in the inning for JV.
Hey, Saturday, it's full day of MLB action, beginning with the Indians taking on the Rangers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox as David Ortiz and the Red Sox come to Comerica Park. Our Major League doubleheader begins Saturday at 3 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and continues at 7 Eastern on Fox. Full day of baseball on Saturday. Here's Anthony Gose. Ground out strikeout for Gose.
We talked about this a couple of days ago. And the Blue Jays have not been in the postseason since 1993. And this team right here has a lot of similarities of that 93 Blue Jays team. Very athletic. Real good position players at every position. Alomar, Olerud. Joe Carter was on that team. Jack Morris was pitching on that team as well. Led by Cito Gaston.
That's in the air to right, playable. Torrey is under it. Second out of the inning. Well, you get the feeling this Jays team can certainly have some lasting power in the American League East. The question is, they will need to continue to get the pitching to match their offense. Burley has won 10 games, so he's been really good. The Hutchison kid we saw the other night was really good.
He was.
Of course, they have R.A. Dickey, who pitched in last night's ball game. Two outs, a runner at first base. 6-3. Jays have the lead. On the throw back to the bag. Reyes is 1 for 3. Single ground out strikeout. Strike one on Reyes, who has made 4 All-Star teams. He's been on base now in 30 of his last 32 games, setting the table for this Jays offense. Verlander is about to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. Here it is. It's popped in the air, shallow center field. Jackson is under it, and that'll take care of the side. But a big inning for the Jays. Couple of homers, and they have a 3-run lead.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at the ballpark. And Jay Happ will go back to the hill. The Jays have hit a couple of home runs to grab the lead. Fans, don't forget to celebrate Polish American Night on Friday, June 13th. Tigers taking on the Twins at 7:08. Special ticket packages include a Polish Tigers fan t-shirt, and they're available exclusively at tigers.com/Polish. Always a fun night, a yearly event here in Detroit. I remember going to Old Tiger Stadium as a kid, and they would have Polish American Night. It has been around a long time here in the Motor City. Well, the Tigers have some work to do now. Miguel Cabrera will lead things off, and he fouls away the first pitch, 0-1. Cabrera, Martinez facing Jay Happ. 6 runs, 7 hits Toronto, 3 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. Ball inside, 1-1.
There's that occasional curveball that Happ will throw. He doesn't throw very many of them. He likes to throw changeups to righties, sliders to lefties, but every now and then he'll mix it up and throw you a curveball.
In the air to center, straight it goes. And Cabrera's out, 1 away. Biggie is 0 for 3 in this game.
He's done a nice job today, Happ. He's 15-21 in first pitch strikes. You saw the breaking ball down to Miggy. Then he climbs the ladder with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. He knows he's going to get a fly ball here. He is just moving the ball around very well. And we also told you that KRATZ is pretty much the personal catcher for J.A. Happ. And you can see why. They work very nicely together.
Martinez and a base on balls in the 4th inning. One on Victor. Jay Happ was originally a 3rd-round pick of the Phillies. Spent 4 years, parts of 4 years in the big leagues with the Phils. Then he moved on to the Astros. And now wearing Blue Jays colors. Blue Jays have a couple of lefties in their rotation. Mark Burley. Here's the background on Jay Happ. That's a strike on the outer edge, 1-2. Drilled toward left field and dropping a base hit. So Victor is on for the 2nd time in this game. 1-out single. J.D. Martinez. A couple of ground balls for J.D. in this ball game today. 0 for 2. Each ball club now with 7 hits. Ball 1 to J.D.
And Tigers are only down by 3 runs. I mean, they just need to continue to put together some quality at-bats here, and they can get to Happ.
Pete Walker comes out again. Their pitching coach. He's been on a couple of times today.
And nice slow stroll by Pete Walker.
There is still activity. Chad Jenkins is still warming up in their bullpen. Walker now will be chased from the field by the home plate umpire David Rackley. J.D. Martinez. J.D. hit a home run in the first game of the series. Came in the 9th inning, but too late for the Tigers at that point. Hard ground ball to short. Reyes, what a play. And they're going to turn 2 on a really good play by Jose Reyes.
I don't know what the pitching coach Pete Walker told Happ, but it worked.
6-4-3 on the double play. Inning over. To the 7th we go.
Six runs this afternoon against Justin Verlander, and Verlander knew coming into the game he'd have to use his off-speed pitches along with the fastball to keep the Blue Jays off balance, but it appears the Blue Jays are one step ahead of JV today. They've gotten several hits on off-speed pitches. That was not a bad pitch that Lind hit, but Navarro had a hanging changeup, breaking ball. KRATZ got a breaking ball that stayed up, and then the home run there, he was sitting on that. That was Francisco. So he did go to the off-speed pitches, and he's thrown some good ones, but the ones that he's gotten too much plate with, this hot Blue Jays team has simply made him pay.
Blue Jays trying to get their 5th consecutive win as you look at the numbers on Verlander so far. He has thrown 95 pitches in the game. And they've also won 13 of their last 15, so the Jays are getting it done. And they lead here this afternoon 6-3 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Pulled foul down the first base line. 0-1 on Melky Cabrera.
Melky Cabrera, yeah, he doesn't wait around a whole lot in that batter's box. I mean, he gets in there, he's ready to hit. Doesn't walk a lot. Definition of a free swinger.
0-for-3 in today's ball game. Lifted in the air, slicing away from the left fielder Martinez, and foul. Cabrera, Bautista, and then Lind, the three make it 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Jays here in the 7th inning. They took the lead with a 3-run 6th on the strength of a 2-run shot by Francisco and a solo homer by LAWRIE. Golfed in the air toward left. JD Martinez has a beat on this one. One out here in the 7th inning. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of today's game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T. Here's Bautista. Ball 1. Bautista now is all the way up to 5th on the Blue Jays list, all-time home run list. 182.
You were talking about him a couple of at-bats ago and how he kind of turned his whole career around back in 2010 when he hit 54 home runs. He's got a unique style, and there's a lot of players that have tried to copycat his style. I'm talking about the leg kick, but few have been able to master it. He kicks that leg up real high, and he's been able to develop some really nice timing with the leg kick.
That'll drop into right field, base hit.
It's like he just waits until the ball is almost delivered toward home plate, and then he picks the left leg up and he just kind of holds it there until the ball's delivered, and then he puts it on the ground, which gets him in a good position to rotate the hips and get that really good bat speed coming through the strike zone. Nothing happens until the foot hits the ground. Rotation of the hips. Nice hand-eye coordination.
Venture to guess who is #1 in the all-time home run list for the Blue Jays?
Give me 1 second to think about
that. Okay, give me a second.
Oh, Delgado.
Oh, you didn't need that second, apparently. It is Delgado. 336. That is skied a mile high into left center. And it's going to be caught by Jackson. 2 gone. I thought maybe Joe Carter, George Bell would be second, but it's Vernon Wells.
Vernon played there a long time.
Yeah, he gathered some numbers. Delgado, Wells, and Joe Carter, their top 3 in home runs career. Bautista 5th.
They used to have an outfield of Jorge Bell and Lloyd Mosby and Jesse Barfield. Barfield, he could throw. He had some power too. Alomar, Tony Fernandez up the middle. They had some good teams in the early 90s, and the Tigers and the Blue Jays, when they would hook up, they were very competitive games.
That's why it's sad to see that the rivalry was busted up because of realignment of divisions, especially with the proximity of these two teams. Kind of sad that's the way baseball has gone with the addition of teams. 2 out, runner at first base. Tigers down 6-3. Runner goes.
He's not going to have to slide.
Oh my goodness, why did he even throw it? He had what, 4 or 5 steps?
Yeah, Justin apparently had forgotten all about him. And Bautista just got a great jump. He only needed to slide to slow himself down.
And now, because there's a runner at second base, Castellanos will have to move from his short right field position all the way back to third.
It appeared that Francisco was sitting on the changeup his last time up on the first pitch and hit it out to right field for his 10th homer of the year. It was a 2-run shot.
1 ball, 1 strike. Phil Koch warming up in the Tiger bullpen. And the 1-1. He'll drop in for a strike, 1 and 2. There's Mr. Koch loosening up. Shallow center field. Jackson coming on. And that is all for the Jays. No runs to hit, 1 left. Stretch time here at Comerica.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich today. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Tigers trying to avoid the sweep here today at the hands of the Blue Jays, but it's 6-3 Toronto now as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Jay Happ back to the hill, gave up a couple of runs in the 3rd, one in the 5th. And he's been backed up by a couple of homers. Francisco and LAWRIE have gone deep today. Here's Jackson to lead it off. Boston looks at strike 1. Roll toward 3rd, foul. So it's 0-2 now on Jackson. Looks like we have some changes now. Townsend is the new second baseman. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And LAWRIE has moved to 3rd base. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 100 now for the left-hander Happ. Avila, Castellanos to follow here in the 7th inning. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. Get foul, back out of play. Tigers on that last road trip hit about 200 on that West Coast swing, and in the first 2 games in the series, not counting today, they were batting 169 in this series.
And you didn't expect to be in this particular situation, possibly getting swept by the Blue Jays in a series where you're not even going to see their ace, Mark Buehrle.
Well, there's a leadoff walk. We'll see if that'll get the Tigers rolling here.
Mark Buehrle already has 10 wins, and he got the 10th win before the calendar even turned June. And take a look at some of the pitchers in recent memory to accomplish the feat that Mark Buehrle has. Jimenez did it back in 2010. Webb, Schilling, Pedro, Clemens, and Schmaltz. Some pretty good starting pitchers on that list.
Best start of the career for Mark Buehrle.
Buehrle, the only left-hander on that list. All the other ones were right-handed.
0-1 on Avila. Tigers today have bounced into a couple of double plays, trying to stay away from that here.
And when you digest this game, and when their pitching coach talks about the effort of J.A. Happ today, he's going to talk about his first pitch strikes. And he is 18 of 26 in first pitch strikes today. That means the Tigers aren't hitting in a lot of favorable counts.
There's the 1-1. Down the left field line. It appears to be playable for Cabrera. Foul ground. And Avila's out, 1 gone. Fans, join us again tomorrow. The Tigers welcome in the world champion Boston Red Sox. Our coverage begins at 6 with Tigers Live. Tigers Red Sox tomorrow night at 6 p.m. right here from Comerica Park and right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Tigers have action to the bullpen. Verlander appears to be done as Evan Reed is warming up. It's going to be it for Jay Happ. He's done. And the Jays will go to their bullpen. Wallside windows pitching change. Chad Jenkins coming in. We'll be back. Tigers have a man on, a man out. And our aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And they've been providing our spectacular shots on a great day for baseball here in downtown Detroit. Tigers trying to do something about a 3-run deficit here. They've got 1 on, 1 out in the 7th, and the new pitcher is Chad Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins pitching in his 5th game. He goes fastball, slider, and a changeup. And the ERA sits at 6.75, but you'll see numbers like that when a relief pitcher hasn't pitched very many games and has 1 or 2 bad outings. It doesn't take much to elevate the earned run average.
Here's Castellanos. Good day today for Nick. Single, double, run scored. And it's in for a strike, 0-1. Chad Jenkins, born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, 26 years old. Time with the Blue Jays each of the last 2 seasons. Now the 0-1. Hit hard and through, base hit. That's a 3-for-3 day for Castellanos. Well, the Tigers have the tying run coming to the plate.
It'd be nice to see Castellanos perk back up. Brad Ausmus yesterday was commenting on his 7, 8, 9 hitters. They just haven't really produced all that efficiently, consistently this year. But Castellanos with a real nice day. That's why they called up the kid Suarez, and man, he hurt his knee on that slide yesterday. Couldn't even play against the left-hander today.
Kind of weird to see. I mean, he was sliding into second on an overthrow.
Man, it was a brutal slide too.
Not textbook?
No.
Not how they teach it? Uh-oh. There's a 1-6-3. How about that?
Goodness. Boy, oh,
man. Another double play hit into by the Tigers. That is the 3rd of the afternoon.
Tigers, they took the lead early in this game. They scored a couple of runs in the 3rd inning, and it looked like you were going to have one of those afternoons where they racked up quite a few. But in the top half of the 4th inning, a miscue by the outfielders. That was Jackson and Hunter. They allowed the ball to drop. Hunter was given an error, and that kind of opened the gates for the Toronto Blue Jays, who scored 3 runs in that inning to take the lead. And then they extended on the lead on a couple of home runs. They flexed their muscles. That would be Francisco and also Brett Lawrie. So the Toronto Blue Jays really took advantage of that dropped fly ball in the top half of the 4th inning.
And the Tigers have not been able to take advantage of their opportunities. They are 3 for 18 with men in scoring position for the series.
Yeah, but Justin Verlander, being the man that he is and the competitor that he is, he will tell you that that fly ball that was dropped really didn't change the complexion of the game. He just didn't get those outs that he needed to get there in the top half of the fourth inning. We've seen Verlander pitch out of a lot of those kind of jams throughout his career.
Evan Reed and the wall side windows pitching change will come on here in the eighth inning to face Brett Lawrie. He'll start things off. And Lawrie looks at a strike on the outer edge.
Well, Lawrie is a really good fastball hitter with an aggressive swing and an aggressive approach. And Evan Reed's got a big arm. He can get up to 98 with his heater.
One ball, one strike on Lawrie. Homer and a walk in this game for Lawrie. That's in there. Strike called. 1-2. Oakland won again last night, so they have 37 wins. Blue Jays right behind them with 36 victories. Swing and a miss. Reed gets him to leave the strike zone.
Here's that play last night. Eugenio making his major league debut, and it's a ground ball. They thought it was going to be a double play. It hit him in the back, and then he broke for second. But this is where he got hurt. The slide, the knee got caught underneath the body. It looked like a pulled groin waiting to happen. But when he walked in the clubhouse today, he was walking with a limp. He would have gotten the start here today against J.A. Happ. He was playing really well in the minor leagues against left-handed pitching.
Romine got banged up himself diving for a ball last night and was probably going to get the day off today, but had to play with the injury to Suarez. Ball outside, 1-0. Deanna Navarro, the batter. Swing and a miss. One ball, one strike on Navarro.
And a good slider there by Evan Reed.
Jays have gotten some production out of the bottom of their lineup. In fact, they've gotten 3 RBIs from 7 through 9. 3 of these 6. Missed it outside. 2-1 on Navarro. The catcher KRATZ waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on the Toronto DH. Gorgeous shot from the blimp at our disposal here this afternoon. And there is ball 4. 1 out, base on balls. Well, tomorrow night the Tigers battle the Boston Red Sox at 7:08. Fans are invited to stay after the game. It's a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. If you have not seen the fireworks here, it is a must. Drew Smiley will get the call tomorrow. Smiley against Ruby De La Rosa. Good block by Avila. 1-0 the count on KRATZ. Well, their number 8 hitter KRATZ came up with a big 2-run single in the 4th inning. 9 RBIs on the year now. Swing and a miss. 1-1. One and 2 on Erik KRATZ.
Well, if you're KRATZ, you pretty much know what this next pitch is going to be. He's been tardy on both of the fastballs that Evan Reed has thrown up there. One at 95, one at 96. I mean, he wasn't even close.
Reed ready with the 1-2. Back up the middle. This is going to be a 4-6-3, and the Tigers turn two of their own. Double play ends the inning. No runs, a walk, nobody left. Top of the order coming up in the bottom of the eighth. Mario and Rod back here at Comerica Park. The Tigers have some work to do, Rod, as we go to the bottom of the eighth inning. They really couldn't get a whole lot going against Jay Happ. Meanwhile, this Blue Jays offense, man, we're seeing it firsthand how good they really are.
Well, nothing really going right for the Tigers the last couple of weeks, and the Blue Jays just happen to be in town right now. But if it was another team, we might see similar results. I mean, every time they make a mistake, the other team capitalizes. They're just not performing very well right now.
What do you think about Verlander's outing today? He gave up 6 runs in this contest. The ERA continues to go up a little bit.
I like the velocity. I mean, he got all the way up to 98 miles an hour. He did throw a few breaking balls that got hit, a couple of hanging breaking balls. One changeup looked like Francisco was sitting on the elevated fastball to Brett Lawrie that he got on top of. But all in all, the stuff was there. I just think he missed his spots a couple different times.
Well, the Tigers have the top of the lineup coming up here in the bottom of the eighth. It'll be Ian Kinsler to start things off. Let's see if they can get it done here in the eighth inning. Kinsler, Hunter, Cabrera, and then if needed, Victor Martinez. Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jenkins out there in the bottom of the eighth. He got a big double play with 2 men on in the 7th inning. There's a bouncing ball left side, glove there by Lawrie, spins and throws him out.
And Lawrie has started all 3 games at second base. That's because the Tigers have started 3 right-handers, and Francisco has played third base, but he's switched over to third base on a double switch. Not a double switch, but a defensive switch, putting him back at his natural position, and he makes a nice play there.
Here's Torrey Hunter now with 1 out. Torrey knocked in a run back in the 3rd, sac fly. No balls, 2 strikes on Hunter. Jenkins came on in the 7th, gave up a single to Castellanos, and then got the 1-6-3 double play. Fly ball into left field. And it's going to be caught by Cabrera on the run.
That one has too much air underneath it, and as fast as a lot of these Blue Jays outfielders are, that's going to get ran down.
News yesterday concerning the Tigers shortstop position. This obviously had a lot to do with Suarez coming up as well. The Tigers admitting yesterday that, look, Iglesias is just not going to be ready this year.
That's too bad, though, because he had 303 last year and finished second in the American League Rookie of the Year voting. And so he had a really nice year last year, and defensively one of the best young shortstops in the American League.
Cabrera is straightened up, 1-0. Chapter to third, LAWRIE behind the bag. It's fired at first in time, and the Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the 8th. 9th inning on tap, 6-3 Jays. Begins tonight at 6 p.m. Here are the Tigers' last 3 first-round draft picks. Of course, Jonathan Crawford last year, who's starring right now in A-ball in the minor leagues for the Tigers. Corey Knebel and Nick Castellanos are up with the big club. Castellanos has had himself a good day here today as well. He's had 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double.
And when Castellanos came out of high school, he was regarded as one of the top hitting prospects coming out of Florida. So he has done nothing to disappoint the people that thought he would be a really good major league hitter.
Phil Koch now will come in and pitch the 9th inning for the Tigers.
David Chad, who has joined us in the past right around draft day. He is the vice president of amateur scouting, also the special assistant to the general manager, David Dombrowski. He's going to join us tomorrow in the 3rd inning, and Dave is the one that goes across the country with all of the local guys, and he goes and sees the best top talent, and he's the one that really has the final decision on which players the Tigers draft.
I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you. I mean, with all of the amateur players around the country, and I know the support staff is huge for every major league team, but boy, scouting is such a difficult job, and also it's something that as soon as this draft is over, they're starting a next year right away.
And David Chad has been great at his job. He worked in Boston in the same capacity pretty much as their scouting director. He drafted guys like John Lester. He drafted Dustin Pedroia. He drafted Ellsbury. And, of course, his work here with the Tigers has been pretty good, too. So he's got a nice track record.
1 ball, 1 strike on Anthony Gose, who leads it off here in the 9th.
The Tigers picked this year, 23rd,
23 this year. That's line foul, back out of play.
Tigers have gotten some nice picks late. Even guys like Porcello, who were supposed to go a lot earlier in the draft, they kind of stayed later, and you know they took Porcello. So we'll see what they get at 23. You're going to get a good pick. All the stuff I've seen this year looks like it's a lot of really good pitching. Big, strong guys that throw hard, left-handers and right-handers.
And the 1-2, swing and a miss. Gose is retired.
And well-located breaking ball there thrown by Phil Coke, buried down and away from Anthony Gose.
You know, the draft is so important because A, you're trying to find future Tigers, but also players in your organization that might be spun off to other teams to get big league players once the trading deadline rolls around. It's always an important time in July.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the Tigers always draft a lot of pitching, a lot of power arms, and they're usually guys that are about 6'5" and above.
As a couple of examples, Andrew Miller was spun off in the Cabrera deal, and Jacob Turner was traded in the Anibal Sanchez deal.
Everybody's always looking for pitching.
No balls, 1 strike on Jose Reyes. Man, oh man, it's a big swing. 0-2.
Well, that may be why he's hitting just 250 this year. He's a much better hitter than that. You don't usually see Reyes take huge swings like that.
Each ball club with 8 hits in this game. 6-3 Jays in the 9th. Did he go? Negative. He held up. 1-2 on Reyes. Coke follows Reed. Evan pitched the 8th, gave up a walk, but then got a double play ball. Verlander, the first 7 in the ball game today, allowed 6 runs. Bouncing ball and a diving stop at third. Castellanos throws it out.
Couple of steps and a dive for Nick Castellanos, and then he had to get to his feet quickly and make an accurate throw to Miguel with the speed of Reyes running down the first baseline. Remember that crazy play he had last night off the bat of Jose Bautista when he was going to cover the bag on a steal from Melky Cabrera, who was on second base?
Looked awkward.
It sure did. I talked to him a little bit about that play today. He said he never experienced anything like that, ball taking such a drastic left turn on him.
Here is Cabrera, who is 0 for 4. Melky's hit the ball on the ground twice, and he has hit the ball in the air twice. Here's the 1-0. 2-0.
Here's that play last night off the bat of Jose Bautista. Castellanos is going to cover the bag, and then he had to redirect his body to try to get back. But he didn't know that ball had that much English on it, and Suarez had to go over and pick it up, but Bautista got himself an infield single.
Too many moving parts there. He went left, he went right, the ball went left. 2-0 on Cabrera. Down the left field line, hit well. That's going to be another home run for the Toronto Blue Jays.
That is a fastball friendly count. 2 balls, no strikes. Fastball bottom of the zone at 94, and real short, quick, compact swing by Melky.
Cabrera, Francisco, and LAWRIE have all hit their 10th home runs of the season.
These Blue Jays are having a lot of fun now. That is the second home run of the series by Melky Cabrera.
7-3 Toronto in the lead. That is their 9th hit of the game. Here's Bautista. To center field. Jackson is there to end the inning. Another run for the Blue Jays. The home run by Melky Cabrera.
That bat, we're hoping for at least 3, if not 4 runs. I want to introduce you to Brianna, and she actually got a ball passed down to her from Torrey Hunter and Miguel Cabrera. What was that like?
It was really fun because I was right up here and I could get the ball from them.
Very nice. Well, we're happy you could be here. And coming up on Tigers Live today, guys, we're going to talk to Justin Verlander. His command looked pretty good in the 5th inning, and then what changed to the 6th to get those back-to-back home runs? We'll also get Brad Ausmus's take on this game. All that and much more coming up on Tigers Live. For you, back to you.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, we'll see if the Tigers do indeed have a comeback in them as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And the first pitch outside to Victor Martinez. We have a new left fielder. Kevin Pillar is out in left.
That was nice observation by Lindsay. Verlander did have a really good 5th inning after giving up 3 runs in the 4th. He struck out 2, and he threw 2 outstanding breaking balls to get Reyes and Jose Bautista.
1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez, Jackson due up here in the bottom of the 9th. Jenkins had a 1-2-3-8. High fly ball sailing toward foul ground. Pillar, he's going to get there. 1 step in fair territory. 1 out. Well, if you need a gift for Dad, listen up. The MLB.com at Bat app and a subscription to its premium features on his favorite smartphone or tablet are perfect for Father's Day. Dad will have access to features such as live look-ins, instant replay, live audio, free MLB.TV game of the day as well. For more details, visit MLB.com today. J.D. Martinez looks at a strike. J.D. hitless this afternoon. 3 ground balls, 1 of them resulting in a double play. Oh, 0-2. Jenkins came on, got a double play in the 7th, a 1-2-3-8, and now working here in the 9th. They had Jansen, their closer, warming up, but that home run took him out of a save situation, and down goes Martinez.
And nice breaking ball there thrown by Jenkins. And looking like the Tigers going to have to wait one more day, man, to bust out of this slump that they're in. And really, it's all facets of the game. I mean, you really can't just, point to one area and say that that's an area where they're not performing.
Tigers would fall to 31-25 unless they mount a massive comeback here. Austin Jackson, their last chance. And again, that lead over Chicago was 3 coming into play today. There's a base hit to right field. Sliding play out there by Bautista. It'll be a 2-out single for Jackson.
That is a nice positive to take out of the day. Jackson's been on base 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. And pretty good swing by Austin. And that's how he was squaring up baseballs in the month of April. Be nice to see him get going again.
Here's AVILA. In there for strike 1 on Alex. It's the 9th hit of the game for Detroit. Each ball club with 9 hits this afternoon.
I think for me, the one thing that kind of surprised me about the Blue Jays in the 3-game series, and yes, the Tigers aren't performing very well, but I knew they could hit. And because you knew the track record of a lot of the guys that they have on their offense, but I didn't expect them to pitch as well as they pitched.
Hutchison was good. Happ was pretty good today. Their bullpen has been really good.
R.A. Dickey pitched in a lot of stress, but didn't give up major damage.
I'm just impressed with the way the Jays have some comeback ability in their lineup. Every time the Tigers would take a lead in this series, they would literally come right back.
And that's the difference. I mean, that 4th inning was crucial today after the Tigers had taken a lead 2-0. That next inning is the most important inning for a starter. It's got to be a shutdown inning.
And it wasn't. They got 3 runs in the very next frame. And the damage came from the bottom of their lineup. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Fouled off. 3-2 now on Avila. So with 2 outs, that'll start Jackson up at first base. The Red Sox coming in tomorrow night. 3-game weekend series against the Bo Sox. Then it's on to Chicago on Monday. Three and 2 on Alex Avila. And ball 4, so the door is kept open. 2-out single, 2-out walk. Doesn't look like John Gibbons is going to mess around anymore. He's going to want to go to the bullpen here. Take the baseball. Jansen was warming in their bullpen before this half inning started.
So apparently he was already good, and once he comes in and gets his warm-up pitches, he'll have more than enough to get him ready for the out he needs.
7-3 in the bottom of the ninth, 2 on 2 outs. And the Jays have decided to bring in the closer, Casey Janssen.
Janssen, pitching in his 12th game, has 9 out of 10 save opportunities, converted successfully. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Fastball tops out at about 90 miles an hour. He's got a curve, got a slider, and an occasional changeup, but throws a lot of strikes.
Castellanos flies one to left on 1 pitch. That's all it's going to take. That's the ball game. In the inning for the Tigers, no runs, a hit, 2 men left. Detroit now has lost 5 consecutive ball games. The Blue Jays had come to the Motor City and swept the Detroit Tigers. Final score of this one here today, 7-3 Toronto. We'll be back.